What's going on YouTube? It is Mr. Ferguson here. Once again, thank you so much for coming back for another video here in Central North Carolina to my house. I am just a DIYer here in North Carolina trying to have a nice lawn and documenting that here on YouTube for going on 3 or 4 years now. So thank you to all that have continued to come back, comment, support the videos. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in today. Where I'm always giving recaps at the beginning of my videos because we constantly have people up north that are still in the cold that have yet to begin spring, yet to begin out and mow and lay down pre-emergent and all that fun stuff. So I apologize for those that keep coming back video after video, and I thank you for doing that. But over the past several videos, guys, we've laid down our pre-emergent. We've done our first mow of the year. As you can still kind of see behind me, it has kind of held up the stripes a little bit after our first mow of the season in February, I believe, for the first time. So we've mowed, and the last couple videos we've done a fertilizer of ammonium sulfate 2100. The benefits being that, number one, it was recommended by the Grass Factor to me for my lawn a couple years ago, and I failed to find any, and Lawn Supply Company provides it, so we bought some of that. We've laid it down. I did do another application off camera this past weekend right before the rain began, so we are up to about 0.8 pounds per 1,000 square feet of ammonium sulfate 2100, and the lawn darkened up. It absolutely darkened up, and so I'll show you that in a second. So anyways, we did that. We also showed 2 new products that I've never used via our soil test, and what it was telling us. We put down biochar and we put Mag-I Cow from Jonathan Green, which is supposed to lower pH in addition to the ammonium sulfate, which will lower pH. So we're doing things to try to react to our soil test and adjust and bring down our pH a little bit so we can have slightly acidic soil, which the grass prefers. But I'll just speak on the fertilizer app. I did mix in some RGS with it, and so I've done 1 application of RGS with the addition of the fertilizer we use, and the grass really greened up. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'll show you Mr. Brandon's over here. You can maybe see the line there of the color difference, but spraying that and having the natural rain immediately come an hour or so after I laid it down, man, it really darkened up. And so we may have even more growth, and we may need to mow again. We hit a little slump in our temperatures and went back down in the 50s, and this week we're going to get back up into the 70s. So it's like we're bouncing from 50s to 70s, and so I believe spring is here, but we'll see. They're saying, some people say March will be cold. I don't know. I don't trust anybody. It's just North Carolina weather, so up and down. Before we know it could snow in March for all I know. But anyways, that's kind of where we are at Mr. Ferguson's house and in my lawn. The grass is looking great. We still have our little holes where we still continue to have Poa Triv, and I've showed that over and over. I repeat it all the time. I apologize, I do, but we have, again, new people coming into the channel trying to catch up on what's going on. So we have holes around the lawn that don't look very appealing to the eye, but we're trying to stop the Poa Triv. I was actually over at my dad's house dropping off the girls this weekend. We had a church function we were going to, and they were babysitting, and my dad had mowed for the first time, and I thought he had fertilized. He's like, nope, haven't fertilized. All I did was my pre-emergent recently. But he had one big old lime green spot, you know, about the size of my hand, and it stuck out. And I said, you better handle that lime green spot. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, that's Poa Triv. It's exactly what's popping up. So he didn't do any seeding. So it's like this, I don't know what it is about this past season, but Poa Triv has just popped up at Mr. Kevin's. It's popped up at my lawn. It's popped up at my dad's. I don't know if it's something in the air. I don't know. My dad didn't aerate or do anything different than he normally does, but now he's got Poa Triv popping up at certain areas of his lawn that he's never seen before. So it's a mystery to me. I don't quite understand it. But today I want to show you one thing that I did buy from GCI Turf. I've yet to even open it and use it, but I do want to show you and the intent behind it. So I'll show you that here in a second, and we'll quickly just do a little update on Miss Ferguson. She talked about the seeds. We're going to do edibles. We're going to have a little plant bed back here and try to plant some tomatoes and cucumbers, whatnot, and give you a little update on that. So thank you for tuning in for just this brief, quick little update Wednesday video. And let me show you this product from GCI Turf that I thought I could use, but probably won't use as much as I thought, but I'll show it to you anyways, because it may be something that you can use in your lawn. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was Mr. Subscriber Tracy Hayes, if I'm not mistaken, had talked about getting a foam applicator thing from GCI Turf, and I just so happened to be looking at it exactly when he had mentioned it, and I said, you know what, Tracy, I got one myself. So what I'm referring to is this guy right here. It's apparently it's made by Green Shoots. It's Precision Foam Weed Killer Kit. It comes with a blue dye, as you can see right here. It comes with a blue dye, comes with some glyphosate, which is basically Roundup, and then it comes with a pump applicator. And basically Pete did a video, if you have areas in your lawn with just a few amount of weeds, if you have a lot of weeds in your lawn, a backpack sprayer with some Speed Zone is likely, a blanket spray is likely what you got to do. If you're just beginning and you don't have a thick set of turf laid down yet, maybe you're just now, literally, you just moved into a house, you've got new property, it's full of weeds, you're going to want to blanket spray it, get all of the weeds, manage what you got. In the fall time, we want to seed, because the thicker our turf is, the less room we got for little pop-up broadleaf weeds. However, we'll still have them pop up every now and then, right? And sometimes you don't need to blanket spray the entire lawn with herbicide, with a chemical, when you can just individually do it. Even in regards of like things like this, which I need to maintenance my little rock area over here, but you can see the discolorization. We need to update the rock here. But sometimes even over here, you can hand pull weeds, but if you get random weeds over here, this is something that this little applicator can help with. I had hopes that this would help me with my Poa Triv. I don't think it's going to be wise to use it for that. So as I just pick it up and carry it over here, sorry for the shadow, there we go. You can see the illustrations here where there's a certain weed. When you mix this together, it makes a little gel for the little pump sprayer right there, and you're basically just going up to individual plants and pumping, you know, just a little bit of the gel on the plant and walk away. And then you see on the last picture on the right there, it withers away and dies, and you can just pull it out or just let it decompose. But precise, it kills just the weed. Foam increases absorption, and versatile, kills small weeds or a full-size tree. So you can put these on. And so it does come from GCI. He does sell it. I will link it below if you're interested. But if you're just wanting to get little things out of your plant bed or out from around, maybe you have some shrubs and there's fescue or some type of grass growing up, you could pump spray a little bit of the glyphosate around these individual weeds, and it will kill them. And that way you don't have to spray anything in the grass to kill your good grass. If it's got good grass around it, or you don't want to harm a tree, you could individually use this foam to knock it out that way. So I thought that was great to have. My wife may be able to use this, talking about with the edibles. If there's weeds that try to creep in, you can pump it on just the weeds, and it won't bother the actual plants that she's using as well. But for Poa Triv, I don't think it's going to help, being that it's such a grassy, like we have one out here, it's such a grassy weed that you can't, it's hard sometimes to tell where to place it and where to put it on. It may be difficult for something like Poa Triv. If you do have something like Poa annua and you can get down to where the plant is, it may be something you want to use. But again, you may just want to hand pull those type of weeds instead of going the route of this. Hand pulling may be much simpler, but I did purchase this, wanted to mention it. I haven't even opened it and got to that yet, but did want to mention it in case you're interested, in case you have a situation where you're like, man, I wish I just could individually hit each weed and not mess up all the good grass around it. This may be your answer. Consider it. It will be linked below from GCI Turf, which they'll get it out to you quick. So check that out if you're interested. And lastly, before we close out the video, here's Miss Ferguson's updated plants. She did tell me it's not just tomatoes, or excuse me, it's not just cucumbers. There are tomatoes in here. So I guess that's what you can tell by the different type of little plants here. But they are just coming right along. She's growing them in the pots here, and we'll be able to plant them here when it warms up a little bit more. There's like 3 or 4 that have yet to germinate right here. But otherwise, they continue to grow. So we'll keep you posted on that. I know you don't need second by second, update by update, 4 inch of growth. oh, we got to film it. But I did want to show you that what we're doing is she bought a little lamp. We started them on the inside with the little lamp. We're growing them. We set them outside, let it get a little bit of natural sunlight, and then she'll water them in the evening. So if you're interested in doing such, if you've never done it like me, I've never gotten involved in something like this, so I'm learning. That's what she's doing right now, and hopefully we'll have some big old fat maters to be able to munch on in the summertime. So just wanted to update you on that. But otherwise, I can just briefly show you the color of the lawn while we're here, and it's just noticeably darker with that extra, 0.5 pounds of N that I sprayed with the RGS. Man, it just looks so much better, besides the holes, which I can overlook for now, but I'm hoping there's grass there and it's growing. I really hate chimes. I want to throw those on the ground. But it just looks really good. And now I feel it excites me a little bit more. Now I'm ready to do my diagonal cut and make my little checkerboard in the lawn. So the N is looking great in the lawn. It is darker green, and really excited about that. And we're hopefully can grow out some of this still dormant and yellowy tip grass, and get that chopped off and get it going. And you can see my little spreader settings. By the way, my Scott's Elite spreader, guys, do not go Scott's spreader. I would just give you that recommendation. That is the best spreader they make from Scott's, the Elite. It is garbage. It works sometimes on that pull handle, it don't. The Lawn Care Nut did a great video on it. Go check that out. If you're like me, I've got to update my spreader. I don't want to buy a $150 or a $200 spreader, but that Scott spreader is just, like I have to jump it and bounce it, and it just will not open the chute to allow the product to fall. And I gave Scott's the best chance. I've used multiple things, and it just continues to break. I spray it off. I do everything properly. The equipment is just faulty. Please don't waste your money on the Scott's. I would, I would point you to the Lawn Care Nuts video. He did a great, non-sponsored video about spreaders. If you're interested in that and need a good one, if you're getting into lawn care and serious about lawn care, he made a great video talking about the ones that he recommends, but also the difference in some of the Scott's versus Earthwise and Spiker and things of those natures, if I recall. So we'll conclude it there. Thank you guys for checking out this brief, fast, quick Wednesday video. The lawn's looking great here. Let me know your comments below. As always, check out channel memberships, check out the Super Thanks if you want to support the channel financially. We appreciate it. And again, the channel memberships, as I just mentioned. But thank you guys just for tuning in and liking the video. Hope you have a fantastic Wednesday. We hope to catch you on the next lawn care video on Friday. I'm going to go punch these chimes. God bless you guys. We'll see you next time.